Let me get the thing up and running here. All right, we are live. So, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to take a minute to advertise a little bit. Um, we obviously we're not playing Thursday next week, the 14th, because I have that's load-in day for GalaxyCon. I got to run to the airport, pick someone up, then run out to the convention center and get all our stuff set up. But GalaxyCon is the Friday, Saturday, Sunday after that, and I I've put so much time and effort into this. I'm going with five of my books. I'm going with the Core Chronicles books one, two, and three out of five. Artwork all by this guy named Jan Michael Barlow, who is absolutely fantastic. I'm going with my Tendrils in the Dark, Eight Tales of Horror, and then, of course, the brand new book, The Oathbreaker's Daughter, which I am just absolutely stoked about. Um, I, uh, I think this is going to be a great time, and I think it's going to be a great thing, and I think this new book is going to do amazing things. So I'm really excited. It'd be uh, it'd be nice to see something really big like that happen and quit my day job life of crime. And hopefully, no one I work with is listening to me say that. But so what's the story so far? We ended last time on a visit between Walter Pilecki and a contact he has that's in the University of Vienna, I believe. And he gave you a little bit of information. That's right, because I'm sorry, we you guys last time Walter made it into the went back into where Fuchs' desk is, and he used his remote viewing psychic power to garner some history of the note, and you saw the person who wrote the note in a castle. And Walter, in checking with his contact, meeting his contact, uh, uh, you guys found out who that is. Of course, you already had her name. You had her initials LM, and you got her name from Walter's remote viewing. It was Lizelle Maurer, and Walter's contact informed him that Lizelle Maurer is in fact the Supreme Commander. I'm sorry, excuse me. Uh, uh, Mina Wolf is the Supreme Commander of Nachtwolf, but Lizelle Maurer is one of Wolf's top lieutenants and is in charge of something called Project Atlantis, which I believe this is the second reference, direct reference to Atlantis, maybe the third.
Yeah.
So, and where you guys are at the moment, I suppose it is evening, and tomorrow morning you have a meeting with Giselle Waldron. She wants to know. She arranged that meeting with you guys in a nearby market so that she can figure out where you guys are at in your investigation into the death of um, her fiance. So it's really a question of how you guys want to spend your evening hours.
Well, gentlemen, based on the conversation with Professor Weber, um, actually, I think it would be Weber. What we have a lead. We heard that Liesel Mauer uh, believes that she's descended from an ancestor that defeated Rome years ago. Um, we think her family owns a castle in Germany, but uh, what I believe I understood was that Weber said he thinks her family Schloss is in Detmold, Germany. Is that, do I remember
I
correctly?
believe that's correct.
So,
He also recommended to Walter that he pack up and leave and not get involved in this, whatever it is.
well, that goes without saying that, yes, we understood that, but we can't do that. So, um,
Be a very short
Detmold,
campaign.
uh, Detmold sounds like a lead. We can speak with Giselle about it tomorrow, but do you know Detmold is 900 kilometers from Vienna? Slim for you, that's about 560 miles.
Uh,
So
Thank you, sir.
we are a very long way if we wanted to investigate that. We're a long way away.
But
So
the question is, how many John McClanes is it?
Right.
Yeah, that's
We
sorry.
also we were, I think we left off where we had a certain mission requirements for this, and we needed to report back up. I don't know if we did that or not, because we didn't want to go to the next step without being ordered there, right?
well, we sent a message,
We
but
did
we
send the
haven't
message.
we haven't done anything since we found out all this new information. So
Correct.
Right.
we'll have to talk to Giselle, but it feels as if we might have still have some stones to overturn, but it feels like our leads are running out.
You know that Fuchs character owes me a gun. Perhaps we go back to that print shop and put him in the dirt after we ask him a few questions.
Um, yeah, I now that he knows we're after him, I question whether we'll see him there again, but that is a possibility. Um, there's a, but it is getting late. What are the odds that he's at a print shop this late in the evening?
That's fair.
But it is our only lead. We don't know where else we might find Mister Pukes. I mean Fuchs.
Well, I do have something of a grudge against that man.
Oh, I think our paths will cross.
I look forward to that day.
So what's the plan for tomorrow morning with Giselle? I need to. Are we? What are we? We're reporting back to her, and then after that, our
Well,
next course.
this is her chance. This is her chance to. We're providing her with some information. It's her chance to provide us with information. But you're right. So far, we've largely satisfied our mission. We understand why she contacted us. We are attempting to help her out, but um, our mission, as has been pointed out, is not necessarily to find the killer or get to the bottom of this particular mystery, although it is very compelling. Um, and yet we sent the message off recently, so we don't expect to get direction from our handler for a while. So it doesn't hurt to speak with the woman and try and get information to plan our next move. But you're right, we have no direction. We have no direction from our bosses on whether we should pursue finding his killer and find out anything about Blackstone or Atlantis or this any weapon that any weapon that Noctwolf is creating. Although um, I don't know about your particular branches of service, but in America, um, officers are rewarded for taking the initiative and encouraged to take the initiative. So at this point, what else? What else is there to do? We can try and grab up Fuchs again. Uh, he'll probably be surrounded by more of his thugs, right?
Slim,
Because
Slim is playing with that revolver you gave him, and he like spins the cylinder and clicks it back in. He says, "That shouldn't be a problem. We took him last time."
As they say in America, chomping at the bit.
That's right. This is initiative.
he had four men left the print shop the last time we had a battle with him. So there are bound to be several. So we have that, or we can get some more information from Giselle and see if she knows anything else she can tell us about anything else she can tell us about Moore or Mina Wolf.
Slim
How?
looks over at. Oh, good.
No, no. I was just no. Go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead.
He looks over at Singh and he says, "What about you, Inspector? What do you think about all this? You've been pretty quiet."
I'm sure the inspector has many ideas, but Sharif has none. Sharif is grasping at straws. The inspector is just rolling his eyes at his failure of his inner dialogue to be helpful.
Well, I can see you plotting and scheming there, sir. If only I had a view into that brilliant mind. But keep us
Oh
posted.
yeah, there's nothing going on in the inspector's brilliant mind right now. I really don't know. I'm stuck here. I don't know what the. We need to
All
phone
right.
a
Well,
friend. We need to phone a friend.
So
let's
out of
break it down. What's the next major event other unless we create one tonight is going to be meeting Giselle tomorrow. Um, Pilecki is going to have to be one of the people that meets her since that's who she knows, right? But as far as the dialogue we're going to have with her, I have a persuasion of three, but no focuses. Does anybody have anything? Who else is good at talking the talk with that kind of stuff?
Okay, let's take a look at what we got
The
here.
inspector's pretty good. He's got a persuasion of 3, and persuasion is insight, right? I think we've gone over this before.
Persuasion tends to be based on willpower.
Will, okay. So that's 9 plus 3, so 12, plus a focus and deceive. So he's at 13 if you count the focus.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, and
deceive can mean a lot of things, but that might be useful.
Well, sir, I'm afraid you get me in front of a pretty woman, and I can't see straight, let alone talk straight. And I can't seem to persuade you three of anything.
But you can dance damn good. We've
I
seen that.
appreciate that, sir.
all right, Henry is. Let's see. Will is 8. Persuasion's 2, 10 with a focus and deceive. So, um, yeah, not decent, but not as good.
So let me, out of character, asking about mechanics. When hypothetically, we're with Giselle and I try to convince her of something and I fail, is it possible to have Sing try the same thing, or do the rules prevent that?
It's pretty much a you can't try the same thing the same way.
Right.
Yeah, if you're just talking to her and you try to convince her and you fail, then that's pretty much set. She's just decided she's not going to do whatever it is you want her to do. Now,
Okay.
it becomes a question of if you can come up with a creative way to find a way to force a different kind of role.
Got it.
So yeah, that's
Okay.
where you guys kind of have to think outside the box a little bit.
Right. Okay. So because we're Singh and Pilecki are equal, it looks like in persuasion, except that Singh has deceive as a focus. Is that right? Because I have a 3 and a will of 9, and Singh has the same 3 and a will of 9. Sharif.
That's right.
Okay, so the only you get the bump up because of the deceive. If we have to do that, but
If he's
that's
trying
only
to
if we're
deceive her.
deceiving.
Yeah,
Or
right.
exactly. He's trying to deceive her. Okay, so it looks like you and I are going to go meet her. And this is going to be at the market.
Yeah. Yeah, it was going to be at a market the next morning. Yep.
Okay. And we've been there before. Is that where we did the whole dancing thing and everything? Or
Um,
is that the same?
it's not, but you know where it is.
Okay. Um, Once we see her at the market, do we know of a place near there to go and have a conversation, or are we doing this like on a park bench?
I'm sure you can find something.
Okay. All right. What do you think, Singh?
Yeah,
How do
sounds
we want
good.
to how do we want to approach this?
Well,
And Henry
yeah,
and Slim, you guys are along for the ride too. We got to figure out like you're going to be an Overwatch, I assume, watching out for the bad guys, right?
Damn right. I'm going to be watching like a hawk.
the purpose is just to deliver a status report, or does she have an update for us as well that we know of?
To your knowledge, it's just to give her a status report on your investigation.
Right. That's right. And what it's been 2 weeks with a lot of ups and downs for me. So, let's go through that again. It's we know that he was led up into the mountains and he was murdered up there, but we don't know by whom, right?
Yeah, yeah. All you really know is the official story was that he was found and officially died from exposure. But everyone's led you to believe that he was murdered. She didn't believe that that happened. He would have no reason to go up there. He was also an educated man. He wouldn't go unprepared. Additionally, it was the bookshop owner, Ernst Prescia, who told you he believed that Fuchs was responsible one way or the other for the murder. Um, Even though he had no proof of it, which he admitted, he just believes that to be the case. Of course, you guys have found Fuchs to be a generally distasteful man, though no indication of whether or not he's killed anybody or had anybody killed, except for the fact that 2 of his thugs did attack you guys. Now,
Right.
you broke into his print shop, so maybe it was deserved, but
No, most print shop owners don't have 2 thugs on call to go and handle people,
that's true.
right? Um, so,
And you
do
do
we
know
know if
Fuchs
she's
is, I'm sorry, and you do know Fuchs is a Nazi working for Nachtwolf, which is, I guess, enough
right?
reason to believe he's a villain right there, right?
Exactly. And do we know that? I mean, does she know Fuchs from the book club by chance? Because her husband had associations, or
Um,
or
you
is,
guys,
is that a
you
or
guys don't know the
fiance, right?
answer to that.
Okay. So we don't know that she knows Fuchs, and we don't. What do we know? We know that she is a German intelligence officer, right?
Yep, she's Abwehr, and she's from Berlin by
She's
her
from
accent.
Berlin. And did we glean how she was here because her husband was here? Is that correct, or was he here because she was here?
She got a letter from him, which she gave you guys. It was one of the handouts,
Right.
and came from Berlin to Vienna. And by the time she got here, or when she got to Vienna, she found that he had already died.
That's right.
And that's when she reached out to Section D, British intelligence, to see if she could get a hand on the matter
Right,
because she
because
didn't feel like she could investigate it properly.
right, because of the different factions she might be, I'm assuming here, she might be competing loyalties in different factions, I guess, in her country. Um,
Well, Jim, I think whatever we say, we should say the least amount possible to her because I don't know
right.
either.
Well, no, for sure. And I mean, honestly, telling her, I mean, throwing Fuchs in, it's not really throwing him under the bus. It might be interesting to see what she can pull out of her hat to handle Fuchs. Um,
Oh, come on
so
now,
yeah,
save some for us.
yeah. Uh, okay. What do we want to ask her if we negotiate an exchange of information like this? What she knows about Nachtwolf,
What she
Um,
knows about the Grand Wizard,
and
right?
but
and
she hasn't been honest about that. How could she not know that her husband was in league with this nefarious dude? You know, the bookshop
Well,
or whatever his name is. I always forget his name.
Ernst Prussia.
Prussia.
Prince Prussia.
Precious.
That's
My
right.
precious.
Yeah.
I own a bookstore.
Well, was he in league with him, or was it just
He knew
was he
Ehrlichman.
just as
He called Ehrlichman a promising candidate for being an acolyte or something along those
Yeah, didn't
lines.
he imply that
okay,
he was like a protege, like the bookshop owner was his mentor, sort of thing?
He certainly indicated that he was trying to head it that way.
Yeah, so it's almost
right?
like she doesn't know that her
That her husband was, or fiance or husband, fiance, right?
Fiance.
fiance was
Fiance,
in league with the devil.
right?
How
So
do you not know
she's
that?
been up in Berlin while he's been messing around with all the fun people in Vienna. She may not know what his associations were on this darker side.
Can you tell
Uh,
how bad that guy scared me? I'm
what's that?
still afraid. I'm still afraid of that bookshop owner guy.
Oh, yeah,
Like Sing's not, but I am.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys. In addition to the fact that I'm wearing my Hellfire Club shirt, I'm also wearing Cthulhu socks. So
Oh,
I, I'm
Nice.
I'm really hoping this is the one
That's
where I
awesome.
get to murder you guys terribly.
yeah. Is
Oh,
our
there it
threat
comes.
way up?
Hopefully not
Doomed.
via Cthulhu.
Well,
Good thing you're not
that'd be an
wearing your
okay way to go.
Nyarlathotep underwear.
No,
I'll
no,
be in trouble.
I saved that for Tuesdays.
That's the King in Yellow.
Yeah, that's
King in
right.
Yellow underwear.
That's right.
That's right. As long as some baby Xeno doesn't come out and start chasing me, I'll be okay. So,
Oh, darn it! All right, I'm gonna have to change that plan.
So you're telling me this is the episode we bring the duffel bag?
that's right. Yeah, we may want to bring the duffel bag. So I guess when we let's just think about this. We get there, we see her. It's fairly crowded. We say our hellos. She's going to ask, "Who the hell is this guy?" Looking at Sing.
Well,
Um,
she's seen him. She's seen him with you guys. You know.
right,
Yeah.
right. Oh, that's right. She has seen it, but and the bookshop stuff. I think that's the session I mixed. That's why I missed. That's why I'm like, that's why I don't seem to recall any of that. I think.
I know. I think you're right.
So so some of that stuff you may have to fill in as Sing Sharif, because when I start talking to her, maybe we can. Uh,
Well, just a quick reminder on that. Just a 30-second reminder of the bookshop. The note said to find the Mexican apothecary's bookshop because that's where the key was. So it was you all went there, but it was Henry and Singh that went inside, and it was this dirty, dusty, grimy bookshop with stacks of books and stuff just haphazardly lying around, and windows that looked like they hadn't been cleaned in years, stuff like that. Kind of in this back alley type place. And when you guys went inside, you met the owner named Ernst Prussia, and Singh suggested that you guys were looking for the key having to do with Ehrlichman's death, and he kind of told you that he could help you guys with this, but he wanted all of Ehrlichman's research. And he did say he wanted to see whoever killed Ehrlichman brought to justice. He's the one who told you he believed it was Fuchs. And then, as a demonstration, he put a house plant on the counter, and just by touching it, he caused it to die and rot away. Um,
mhm.
and
Oh, yes, yes.
and then when you guys left the bookshop, like the the street like folded and unfolded around you, and you were just now on a bright sunny street in Vienna with no sign of the bookshop.
That's right, and that's like super scary, high level stuff. Yeah, yeah, I remember that part now.
Yeah. So
At least reviewing it. Okay, so that's Prussia. Okay, and okay, all right, all right. Well, I think we've recovered from our stress and our injuries and everything, but I'm fine for laying low tonight. I know Slim, you probably want to go out and steal a car or something, and that's fine with me. But I think I'll just stay here.
uh, Slim, he like tries to act like taken aback, but internally he's like unnerved that this psychic has predicted his intentions. He's trying to act like
nice.
like you didn't
Oh,
you
you
don't
just have to
understand him.
watch. You just have to watch behavior. You don't have to be a psychic. uh, yeah, so that's my input. Get ready for tomorrow. So
Um, to be honest, what more do we think we might be able to get out of Fuchs if we got him?
I know I'd like to put some lead into him.
Well, ultimately, well, frankly, we don't. We have very, very little, practically nothing of the research. Does that mean, do we expect that Fuchs has it? That maybe he stole it? Or is he still looking for it himself? We don't know those things.
Well, you brought up the thing that I would like to speak to the fiance more about is the fact that she's going to have to be more forthcoming on what his research was about, because we couldn't even plumb that at the Occult Research Society, right? Like, there's no clue.
Right.
But that might be where the next lead is. If we know what he was working on, we'll know why he was being killed. We might know. I don't know. It might give us that missing
right,
direction.
and we have. I mean, the only real information we have is Fuchs being the suspected killer. So we got to hold that back and ask her about what maybe she knows about the research first, and then because we don't have a whole lot to trade as far as
No,
info goes.
but I mean that happens. Investigations run into dead ends, and she hasn't really given us a whole lot to go on.
Well, we've got. I mean, I don't know that we have dead ends. I mean, we we found out where that castle is and who's in it and what they're trying to do, but we don't want to tell her, right?
Have fun
Um,
storming the castle.
exactly, exactly. I need to go buy some chainmail and a good mace. Uh,
Better get Andre the
so
Giant too.
And going
right,
after Fuchs seems very dangerous because that would just be like escalating things with German intelligence, right? And we're holding a short end of that rope.
right.
You know what? Never
Uh,
mind. I don't care what this man has to input.
yeah,
Well, so game mechanics, what I'm trying to decide is if we want to find Fuchs, we could go back to the shop. Slim and I could go back to the shop and see what we could find, but I think that's unlikely given the time of night and the fact that we already in. Plus, there's dead guys there, right? We don't want to go
Damn
back to
right.
where there's dead guys. There could be police watching, so I heard that amateurs always return to the scene of the crime. So we're not going back to where the dead guys are. But we could use a fortune point to create a truth. Um, some kind of truth that we got to word it just right, but we could create a truth that Fuchs is not. He is terrible at blending in, and Um,
How about that he's
people have observed his whereabouts or something like that.
how about something about him being a night owl that likes to use the library by night?
Yeah, I will say though, you can't create a truth when it's going to be antithetical to a character. So
I
I'm
understand.
yeah. So uh, uh, unfortunately,
We can't say he forgot his gun at home.
yeah. There's going to be
Roll
certain
for
things that are going to
initiative.
be a
Wait,
little.
before we do that.
By the way, there was yeah. There was a half-baked idea last time that you guys were going to, or that some of you guys maybe were going to sneak into the not the bookshop, but the Sphinx Reading Club at night. I don't know if
Correct.
you guys have moved on from that thinking or not.
Oh
Well,
yeah, I
feel like
forgot I did it. I left one of
Well,
the windows open on the second
yeah,
floor.
You
Yeah,
did.
but
I don't
I
know.
didn't. It didn't seem. That was when we wanted to get to the upstairs, but um, there was some particularly adept acts of stealth that gave access to the upstairs.
That
Right?
is correct. Yep, yep. Snuck up there, but there wasn't a whole lot except for normal, which surprised me. There was an unfortunate event they talked about, and that's why it was closed. And
Yeah,
there was a skylight that was, I guess, broken, and there were lots and
there
lots.
was a locked curio cabinet that had a pane of glass missing from it,
Right.
That's
that
yep.
that shelf was empty.
Yeah, something was stolen. So we know
And
something was stolen.
right, and the shelf above it was like this part that weren't stolen. I think they were they African idols? Were
They
they
were African lip plates.
African lip plates? Okay, yeah. So right, and then I kind of looked around for anything that might have been interesting, or I think I might have checked for secret doors or something, and either failed that or there weren't any. One of
Correct.
the two. Yeah.
well, here,
So I don't know. I think there's still something there. I don't know if we want to burn the night looking for that and chancing something before this meeting, but
what?
it seems weird that it was just a meeting place and a clue that somebody stole something to me. I don't know.
Uh, I wonder if it's likely that anyone will notice the unlocked window. Is that something we need to do tonight, or can we do the meeting, see where that leads, and then potentially follow up on that? The following night if we haven't heard back from our handler.
Yeah, that's probably good. I can't imagine. I mean, it's a second floor building. They're not assuming anybody's going up there. You would need some kind of way to get up to the second floor to get through the open windows. And it's just unlocked. I don't think anybody would see it. It's probably, I don't know, that they do window checks every night in the place.
I mean, they've got a skylight on the top of the building that's just covered by a tarp right now.
Right. So
That's fair.
that's about how securely. So maybe there isn't anything up there. I mean, if it was something really special, then I mean, I guess they would do more than have a tarp over the skylight. But
Well, certainly the objects that were up there are valuable. I mean, they're mixed. Most of them are mixed antiquities or oddities.
yeah,
Like what you would see in a cabinet of curiosities around the turn of the 19th to the 20th century. So they have value to be sure,
yeah,
but the other thing is they probably reasonably assume that very few people really know that they have anything of value there. If that makes sense.
sure. And what would you? A lot of that stuff. Most thieves wouldn't know what to do with it in the 1930s.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no dark web yet. Uh, so yeah. Anyway, Slim. I think that's maybe we wait to see how that goes, and the next night I think would be if we think we need to. We are as far as the game goes. This is the we're. I think you told us we were getting towards the end of the. I don't know what they call it. The scene. The scene is not. This is not the scene. What's the bigger than the scene?
The mission.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So they call them missions. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think we're. Yeah. So once we complete this, we'll probably move on to the next. And is it fortune points that expire or?
No, the momentum goes away at the end of every scene, but the fortune points, you get your fortune points back to 3 when the mission is over.
Oh, so right, and we have like one left or two left.
No, you each start with three. So you look at your own character sheet. I think you
Oh, I
guys
thought they were cumulative. So momentum is cumulative, or momentum is shared, and fortune is.
is
Oh
individual
Your
shoot!
to
own,
the player. Yeah.
right? And if you don't use them, you basically, if you don't use any during your mission, you've
Missed
lost an
opportunities.
opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, because they come back automatically when the mission's over. So you may as well use them. It's just, I think, like Fortune, as with most of those types of resources like story points and aliens, I think players get afraid of using them at the wrong time, if that makes sense. Is this something that I need to hold on to for just the right moment? And there's something to be
Right.
said for that, but, there's also plenty of times where it's not a life or death situation, but success is a must.
You've played Alien, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
All right, so I'm just laying it out there that it seems to me that fingers are pointing toward Maurer and Wolf, Mina Wolf. Um, we don't have any of the doctor's research. I don't think I don't think Klaus has the research because he's still pretty nosy. Still, it seems, although we know the doctor's desk was broken into because we saw the marks and stuff. Um,
Oh, you
if
did. That's right.
if Fuchs had found what he was looking for, I don't know if we'd be even seeing him. That he'd even care that we're snooping around, other than maybe just eliminate us. Why wouldn't he just eliminate us? Maybe he's counting on us to find something. I don't know. So I'm not sure twisting his arm to try and get the research is going to do much. Um, what do we possibly think we could get out of him for? If there's some local whereabouts of these two chicks, because
Can you say again their names? I forget. It's Mina,
Mina
one,
Wolf and
Mina Wolf,
and she's the
Lizelle
general.
Maurer. Right.
Lizelle Maurer is the lieutenant and in charge
Lizelle,
of Project Atlantis.
and Wolf is the head of Nacht Wolf.
Correct.
Well, it's nice to see they break away from the patriarchy. All right, so Mauer and
Except they serve
Wolf.
Cthulhu. That's kind of the ultimate patriarchy.
That's right.
But we
All right.
don't know that. We don't know that.
We
Real,
don't know that yet.
real quick, I found it humorous that Henry's saying that fingers are pointing to Mina Wolf and Lizelle Maurer, and I was thinking, huh. In a game called Achtung, Cthulhu that takes place during World War II, fingers are pointing to the super secret Nazis. I'm shocked.
Yeah, yeah. Shocking. All right. And what's the castle's name?
Oh,
Or do we know that? We saw the tapestry and stuff,
I don't
right?
have it in my notes.
yeah, I don't think you know the name of it. You know
I
where it
thought we
is,
had.
thanks
Right.
to your
Where's it at?
contact, but it's in a near. It was near. Was it near Detmold? Is that where it
Yeah,
was? Yeah.
Detmold, 900 kilometers away,
Okay. And in which direction?
northwest, I believe.
Northwest. Yeah.
It's in Germany.
Okay. All right.
You can Google Maps it.
No, I know. I still have my little tiny MacBook Air screen here. I'm trying not to crowd it too much. Okay, so 900 kilometers. Got it. Okay. What else do we need to remind ourselves before we talk to Giselle?
Um, well, I think you just need to Well, I think you need to make it clear that if she wants any more help from us, she's got to start coming clean, telling us what she knew about her fiance's research and Atlantis, what she knows about Nachtwolfe and these, and if she knows who these either of these people are. She just needs. We need to find out what she knows because it feels like we're not getting the whole story.
Yeah.
And 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 we've satisfied our mission as far as we're concerned. We were told to meet her and find out what she wanted. We found out what she wanted. We haven't
Right.
necessarily delivered on her side of it, but we also frankly are taking some initiative to try and do some research and find it out for a couple reasons. One is because we're supposed to be take the initiative, and two, it's a boring game if we just sat on our hands and did nothing. So
Sure.
um,
You know what? We don't really want to get into this whole World War II thing. We're just
Yeah.
going to sit this one out.
Okay.
okay, so I think that's the emphasis. It has to be start sharing and being open with us, or forget it. We're done with you.
Okay.
I like that.
So I'm gonna, yep, and I'm gonna expect resistance from a German intel officer to start freely sharing about some of this. So what lie or deceit can Singh tell her to push her into starting to talk to us a little bit more if she says no? Do we say something like we have evidence of Nachtwolf, being involved in her fiance's death? Do we like how can we draw out information if she just puts up a stone wall and is like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I know I'm overthinking a lot of this, I'm sure, but um we who knows? We may get there and we'll watch her get kidnapped and it'll turn into a big chase. So who knows? We may have to. And if that happens, do we get a car? I guess maybe I'm over planning this, but
Well,
Well,
yeah,
go ahead.
we respond on the fly. That's what we do.
Well, I appreciate that sentiment. Like I said, we Americans can take some initiative and respond as needed. But I was thinking I might take a little walk tonight, scout the area, find ourselves a little spot to post up tomorrow before the
okay.
crowds come
So
in the market.
I'd like to make a truth out of one of the fortune points I have.
Okay.
I'm assuming, and this is probably not of a stretch, that the four of us have worked out hand and arm signals that we can use in crowded areas to freely communicate danger and et cetera, without having to pre-plan something like that.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Good one.
Yeah. So, we don't have to fumble around like, pointing bad guy over here. We'll just give a quick hand signal. So that's going to be my truth.
All right. How many
Ease of
fortune points does
communication.
that leave you with?
One.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Slim gives a rude gesture
Make
and
that
then snickers.
deduction.
So hand and arm signals.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I feel like we're hollering down a well here, and he's like putting on a suit jacket and on a hat, and he puts an unlit cigarette in his mouth, and he says, I'm going to go take a walk, loosen up."
Enjoy the evening. I am going to turn in.
He tips his hat, and heads out the door.
All right. What is Slim looking to do with his evening?
So we're supposed to meet Gisela in the market, right?
Correct.
All right. So, and I'm just doing this to I don't know, accentuate Slim's need to do something, his ADHD. So he's gonna stroll past the market. I know it's like in the evening,
Yeah.
right? I know the market's probably
Yeah, all
winding
closed
down or
up.
closed,
Yep.
but he wants to scout the area and sort of uh, check out any tactical disadvantages, advantages, anything like that. Um,
All right. That's a fair thing. Let's do a. I'll let you do either insight or reason, whichever one's better for you.
okay, insight.
All right. With observation, or you could use observation with a sight, um, or you could use tactics. I don't know which is better for you, observation or tactics.
Observation's better, but tactics probably makes more sense, right?
Well, yeah. Either way, I'm good with it.
Okay.
Um, do you have any focuses in either of those?
I do not.
Okay. All right. So just go ahead and make a roll.
Okay. Difficulty
One.
one.
Yep.
Okay.
Good old one. One success. It's a pretty straightforward. It's a pretty straightforward marketplace. There are storefronts. There are also, temporary stalls and that type of setup on a wide street that ends in a cul-de-sac. The worst part about it is there's should something go down here, there's really no escape except the way in.
Uh, okay.
Um, yeah, that's the biggest downside to it. Unless you stormed into one of these random buildings and it had a back door, obviously. But in terms of streets or alleys, like the cul-de-sac, the buildings are pretty much butt right up against each other as they wrap around the cul-de-sac. So there's no real escape except to go out the way you came in.
Is this a like pedestrian cul-de-sac or like a road?
It's basically a pedestrian cul-de-sac. Yeah,
Okay. So there's like I don't know, maybe like ballards or something that would prevent a vehicle from getting in there.
correct.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Um, okay. So Slim tries to look as casual as possible. Sort of walking the streets. As the night gets darker, he's going to duck into a bar, maybe a few blocks out from the hotel, and he sits at the bar, looking pensive. Orders a few fingers of bourbon,
Nice.
and sits there. And we see him looking at a brown, tattered photograph of a young woman while he drags from a cigarette, uh, alone at the bar, and fade to black.
Nice. I like it. Anybody else have anything they want to do in the evening? I did see your note,
Well,
Mr. Baker.
okay. I guess I should do an observation to see if anyone was watching.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So that would be inside observation, probably using sight as a focus if you have it. Difficulty one.
Okay. Uh, Insight.
A success. No, doesn't seem to be anybody paying any particular notice to Slim or yourself for that matter.
Okay.
I love it. Now, are you just? I mean, clearly Slim doesn't see you. What are you doing? Like, where are you at? Are you in the
All I
bar?
did, all I did. No, I'm not in the bar. All I
Okay.
did was I followed behind you to to just to watch your back
Oh, I love that.
and observe if anyone was observing you.
I love that. That's so cool.
Okay. So he's in the bar for a while. Um, There doesn't seem to be anybody paying any attention to him, so I'm going to head back to the safe house
All right.
and crash for the next day.
Okay. Walter and
Okay.
Singh, two of you have anything that you want to do?
Negative.
No, Walter's just keeping everybody up with his sleep apnea.
Khan will perform his daily prayers, make himself ready for tomorrow.
All right.
Uh, Giselle's fiance's name was what?
Professor Botho Ehrlichman.
Otho, huh?
Yeah. Um. All right. Well, next day, something that we have been forgetting to do, and this is my fault. Um, this is my fault. Every day, uh, Walter and Khan have to prepare their spells. Now, you both don't have to worry about picking and choosing because neither of you have enough spells that available to you than more than you can prepare. So that's not an issue, but you still have to make a roll. It's whatever your spell casting statistic is, which for Walter I believe is reason, and for Khan it is will.
Uh, I don't remember. I'm embarrassed to say.
It's no, it's
I have
going.
never cast a spell yet, so
That's true. It's going to be. Oh no, for you it's insight. For you it's insight, and Walter it's reason. So
Okay,
it's just a roll for your for your proper statistic with with academia, and if you have the focus in occultism, you can use that as well.
nice. Okay, and that
And it's technically zero difficulty. It's technically zero difficulty, so you can't actually fail. It's just an opportunity to generate a little bit of momentum to start the day. Is really all it really is.
oh really? Okay, that's
Now,
interesting.
now, don't get me wrong. In when you guys advance to the point where you have more spells available than what you can prepare, then it
Right.
starts to become more important. But right now, it's just a game mechanic. Really, is all it is.
What does the difficulty zero do for the dice? I mean, if you're doing it
It
in
just
real.
makes it that if you don't get a success, you still don't technically fail.
Oh, okay, but it's not like add or subtract dice.
Mm-mm,
Okay,
no.
there we go.
All right.
You got a little momentum.
Yeah, so you guys
Nice.
have four
Mhm.
momentum just to start your day.
I
Um,
think. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, 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 no.
In the morning, Slim's slightly tired, a little purple under his eyes, but he's somewhere in the room, probably the last up, and he's like wearily comes up to Baker when he has the chance, and and he says, "Mr. Baker, while you were getting your beauty sleep, I was out there scouting the tactical situation. We got ourselves a little pedestrian cul-de-sac. It's a kill box in there. We got to make sure we got some. We're watching that egress. There's only a single point in and out."
Understood. Did you enjoy your excursion last night?
Well, and he like rubs his eyes a little bit, and he says, "Yeah, yeah, it's nice to see a little bit of Vienna. It's mostly business, though."
Okay, so no bouts of cocktail flu this morning. You're sharp and ready.
No, sir, I am spry and ready for a fight.
Sounds
But
like we'll have to be on our toes. This is a bad situation. Makes me wonder why she would have picked such a location.
yeah, that's actually a good point. I didn't consider that.
Beginning to question, her motives. I would have expected someone in her position to be smarter than that.
I think I'm gonna watch the road, make sure nothing comes down either way.
So when our colleagues finish their preparations, we should inform them what they're walking into.
Roger that. Is this like he's walking away and then he turns back to Baker and he says, you know, uh, is this the day we get a car?
It
Seems like a good day to have a car.
it's very possible that today is the day to get a car.
He nods, disappears into some other room.
Okay, so let us know when the guys are done with their preparations, and will Slim and I will inform them of what they're walking into.
All right, very good.
Before we kick off the action, can we just take a quick bio break?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Be right back.
I need another USB port. Ooh, careful, careful, careful.
Okay, I'm back.
All right, we're just waiting on Jim.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you're here?
No.
Cool.
Yeah, when you type, it gets really small if you're the typing right after a roll. It looks like.
Oh,
Uh,
all right, gentlemen. So you guys want to head to the market?
Yeah, we do.
All right.
Now I overheard Slim and Henry talking. Slim's gonna this is kind of like a funnel with one entrance, one exit.
Correct.
And the market is, are we talking like is it like a town square shape? Is it
It's in like a pedestrian cul-de-sac.
uh-huh. Okay. All right. Any fountains, any like what are the like larger buildings, a cathedral, any, or is it just all small shops and
No, it's a mix of shops and townhouses, stalls, stuff like that.
okay. All right.
And all the buildings butt up against each other. One leads to the next. There's no space in between them, no alleys or that type of thing.
Is it strictly pedestrian?
Yeah, a car could not get in there.
Okay.
Well, not without running shit over.
Okay. Okay.
it's an
All
important
right.
important clarification.
Uh
Or an airborne vehicle, perhaps.
and now is there no any government offices like police stations, anything like that in this area?
No.
Okay. All right, so I guess it's Sing and I um trying to wander casually into a marketplace and look for Giselle while Slim is guarding the. Are you guys going to be stationed like an entrance to it, or how's that? How do we have line of sight to you? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, probably the entrance, watching the intersecting road.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, it's without knowing the geography exactly, just from the descriptions. Uh, Henry is going to meander into the cul-de-sac just to look around to see if he sees any characters, and then exit back out onto the street and hang out, keep his eye open.
Okay. Make an inside observation roll.
Okie dokie.
One success. Doesn't seem to be anybody odd about.
Okay. Okay. So I'll set up shop out on outside the entrance to the cul-de-sac, but not terribly close. I don't want to make it look like I'm standing there like I'm on guard duty.
I
All right.
got you.
I'll use my urban stealth and just hang out and keep an eye on who's coming and going.
All right. Uh, Slim, what are you up to?
Slim's sort of meandering with a cigarette in his mouth at the where the cul-de-sac meets the road. He's taking inventory of all the parked vehicles in the vicinity, uh, and he's trying to keep an eye on incoming traffic, looking for uh, you know government vehicles, Nazis,
Mm,
or anything suspicious.
all right. And so Palecki and Singh.
Well, Well, we're gonna stroll in there together.
I will use
Looking.
my constantly watching talent. Whenever you attempt a skill test to detect danger or hidden enemies, reduce the difficulty by 1 to a minimum of 0.
Very good.
Nice. Let me see if I have anything cool like that. I don't think I do. I just have the.
I
Yeah, I
just
got
have
perfect
psychic
timing.
powers. I don't have anything cool
Yeah.
like that.
Do you
Yeah.
want that's an insight observation check?
Um, if we get there, I'll ask you for
Okay. Well, I was going to
it.
do a quick check when I walked in.
Oh well, that's
What I
fine.
was
Yeah,
going to do.
please go ahead. That makes sense to me. Absolutely.
What's the difficulty?
It will be 0 because your thing reduces it by 1. Oh, Baker had a complication. I'm just going to absorb that.
Oh boy.
More momentum, yay!
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. Which you guys are, by the way, at 6 momentum, which is the maximum, and you lose it at the end of the scene. But no, everything seems very safe. Just a normal day at a market. Uh, Vendors selling various things, and just people milling around doing their shopping. Doesn't seem to be anything or anybody at all afoot.
Is it? Would you say it's average, crowded, or less crowded for?
No, it's average. Average
Okay.
average day. Nothing crazy going on.
Do we see Giselle sticking out anywhere? Or?
You do not. Um,
Okay.
in fact, a young boy comes out of nowhere. He's running across the. And I shouldn't say running urgently. It's just the way boys tend to run. He's probably 8 or 10 years old. He seems to be running straight for you, Pilecki.
I wait till he reaches me.
Yeah, he runs up on you and he says, "Are you Herr Pilecki?"
um, I may be. Who is asking, young fellow?
Um, he says, I'm Jan, but your wife gave me something to give to you. She said she wasn't able to meet you here at the market, and then he hands something over to you. It's um it's a piece of paper wrapped around something with a brown string tying it closed.
I ask him, is she here? Where did she give this to you?
She was here a little while ago. She had to go, but she said she'll catch up with you later.
Uh, okay, thank you.
All right, and he give the boy a fennec.
Yeah.
um,
Toss him a coin.
that's right. He runs off, and you're left with this small parcel in your hand.
Well, I look at Sing. Um, so much for the planning. Let's go somewhere quiet and take a look at this.
Okay,
So I'm looking for just, I don't want to leave the area yet, but
just somewhere
maybe
off
if
to the
there's a
side.
cafe, yeah, if there's a cafe with a corner table, that's not too obvious.
All right, very good.
I'll make a signal to the guys, letting them know that she's not here, and we're gonna go sit down there.
All right. All right.
It's so funny because Slim is so worked up about this, thinking that something's going down, and he's so disappointed.
All right. So you untie it and open it up.
Well, let me. What does it look like first? It's a wrapped, like when you
It's
say
a it's
parcel.
just
It's like
a piece of paper. It is just a piece of paper that's been tied around something something small, hard, and unevenly shaped, not symmetrical.
not symmetrical, cylindrical, square.
No, it's probably 3 inches long. Um, has a little bit and very overall very thin. Has a little weight to it. Might be made out of metal.
Mm, and the paper is just standard desktop paper.
Yeah, it's just paper.
This paper. All right. Let's see here. I know I'm overthinking everything, but I'm
What if it's a nail bomb and we all die at this
you know, exactly.
table?
Yeah. I was right
Bunch of
about to
white
say as a
powder
joke that
sprays out from the paper and splashes across our faces.
I was right about to say as a joke. Khan takes about 20 steps back. You go ahead and open that, Walter.
Yeah. All right. So there's three questions about the okay, excellent. Yep, I open it up.
All right. There's a it's two. It's actually there's a plain metal key inside. Um, and there's the paper has two notes written on it. And I just emailed you guys an attachment. Um, but one of them says, when I got back to Berlin, this was waiting for me in the mail. And then there's what the other that's what the other piece of paper has on it.
Entropy, a state of chaos and decay. What is that? S equals B log W?
Indeed.
Um, S or a 5? S
Uh,
or a 5.
no, it's
Did you say there's only one note? My screen
Guys,
is such that I can't.
S is the it. I can't tell what it is, but if it looks like an S to me. S is the symbol for entropy.
yes. Yeah, you would assume it's an
I
S.
didn't take thermodynamics for nothing.
Interesting.
It's weird because that's not the definition of entropy. I don't think. Is
No,
it?
that's not the thermodynamic definition. That looks like a chemical one. Entropy in chemistry is defined by a log of the ratio of the concentrations.
But what is this mathematical? It gives you the wrong definition, and then it gives you what appears to be some kind of. I don't know. I guess it's not mathematical equation. I don't know what B log means.
Well, maybe it's
Well,
not.
um,
We'll find out, but it looks like S equals epsilon log W.
So Slim is watching you puzzle over this, talking your egghead stuff, and he says, "Now wait a minute, let me see this." And he snatches it from your hand and he looks at it real close, and there's this complete look of confusion and total. He doesn't even know what entropy means, and he sort of like goes wide eyed and slowly gives it back to you, and he says, "Yeah, this is more your domain."
um,
Is that supposed to be logarithm? Like a? No, I don't know. I don't know math at all in the real world, so
well,
I'm out of my depth.
Yeah, I only know enough to be dangerous.
give
Um,
me a reason plus academia roll, somebody with a focus in science if you have it.
let's see. I do have. Did you say reason?
Reason in academia. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I got a.
anybody? So
Well,
I
I've got
would
a.
be at an 11.
I'd be at a 12. Right, because it's reason 10 plus 2 academia is 12. I don't have a focus, so.
Yeah. And the
Uh,
difficulty is 2.
Anybody else have more than that?
Not a
No, sir.
chance.
Okay.
This is
All
not
right.
Henry's strong suit.
So, but it is his owner's strong suit. So thank you for the definition of S equals
Yeah.
what you said. Let's see. So it's I click on reason, right?
Yep.
And so two
And
dice.
let's talk about this for a second.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of a everyone's kind of looking at this, you're kind of putting your heads together as a group. I would allow one person to help you. So if Walter, if you're the one making the primary roll, one other person can roll one die to help. And it sounds like Sing is probably the best bet for that.
Okay. I'll
I
help you
guess, yeah.
puzzle it out.
Um, So the difficulty for Sing, your roll will be difficulty 0. And then we'll put the 2 difficulty on Walter's roll. So that you guys do need 2 successes to succeed at this, and you do have a ton of momentum. If not to push you,
Yeah,
but if the
how
scene
do
ends, your
we
momentum goes away anyway. So,
right. So how do we dump momentum into this check?
one
By adding dice?
by adding dice, one momentum gets you 1 extra die. If you pay a total of 3, you get 2 extra dice, and if you pay 6, you get 3 extra dice.
And you said I'm rolling 1 die,
You're rolling 1 die because you're assisting.
and difficulty.
For you is 0.
All right. So we got 6 momentum. If I want to remote view this thing within this scene, I still have to keep at least 3. Uh, so if I add one
Fire
die,
report.
if I add 1 momentum, I'll get 1 die, right?
Correct.
So we'll burn 1 momentum to bring us down to 5. That'll change the dice for me to 3.
Yep. And your
Weird.
difficulty
And
is 2.
It says I got success, but then you see number of successes 0. Why is that?
Because it's a difficulty 0 roll for you, but
Oh, okay.
you still had no successes, so you didn't really add anything to the roll, unfortunately.
Even though it says success? Oh, because it was difficulty 0.
Correct. Yeah, it's just a limitation of roll 20 on the setup. That's all.
okay. And you said difficulty for me is 2?
Correct.
All right.
Oh my God! With 2 complications.
God damn it.
You hurt your own brain.
Yeah, exactly.
How can fortune help me with this? Is there anything about fortune removing complications or something like that?
No.
Well, I mean, complicate. Do those carry over into the next mission? They probably do,
No,
right?
they don't. No,
Okay, well, fuck
yeah,
that then.
yeah.
Okay.
So at this point, you're
Um,
just feeding me threat.
right. Okay.
Don't worry about it. It'll be
All right.
fine.
So, I'm shaking my head, and this is stumping me. It looks like it's stumping Sing. I don't know if we have any other choice than for me to do my thing with this. Um, I'm not sure exactly what to ask. To clarify the rules, if I can choose an object within reach and gain limited knowledge of that object's past, additional momentum spent to obtain information may be used to ask questions about the object's history. Now, if I'm asking about the object's history, do you think I'll only be able to see like things related to the physical
The physical
paper,
piece of
or
paper itself, correct.
so it's really not about what's written on it? So she may have scrawled that 10 minutes ago, and that's what I would be burning this thing on.
Yeah, yeah. And make um one of you make an inside observation with a sight focus if you have it. Whoever's got the best roll is fine.
I got observation 2 with sight and insight of 9. That's
So
what you
11.
wanted, right?
Yeah.
So
Mine
11.
is insight 11 plus observation 3. I have instinct focus, though. So that doesn't apply, right? You said sight.
Right.
Yeah, I've got
But I think
sight.
it might still be higher.
Yeah, with a 14, I think Sing's the winner.
Yeah. Okay.
So
And you said observation?
yeah, inside observation, difficulty 1.
Well, what do you know?
Wow.
I cursed myself.
Holy
What
shit.
is? Okay. I just read that. I'm not sure.
Wow.
Not sure that helps us understand it any better.
No.
Oh, I didn't mean it to help you
Listen,
understand better.
listen.
I'm just
You're going to have to dumb this down, brother. Dumber, dumber, dumber. Even dumber than that.
Well, I mean, Khan's eyes just melted out of his head, so on his observation roll.
Khan said, yes. Yeah. This is esoteric
Yeah,
knowledge.
it's
It's dangerous.
it's a piece of paper.
I
Okay.
mean, okay, so I can listen. We've got here, this is the end of the. I mean, we this is metagaming, but this is the end of the scene, right? So we're close to it. Well, maybe not. I don't know. This is going to be the tail end of the mission, though. The last scene. Do we want a remote view to see where she has went to, and so we can meet her, or follow her, or do we want to try to gain information from a piece of paper that may have just been written on, or not? That's kind of what I can offer with the skill I have here.
Well,
Because I can remote view. I know what she looks like. I mean, I'm guessing an object can be a person.
I think that's a I think that's a fair statement. However, I'm not sure that remote. And let me make a quick judgment call here. Give me one moment to make a quick judgment call. Um, I don't think remote view is going to help you understand where she is gone or that type of thing. I think it's mostly to gain limited information about its past.
right.
You can
Well,
accurately study the object, even parts of it which are hidden from view or obscured, such as reading letters within a sealed envelope or perceiving the objects of a locked safe. Um,
for 3 momentum, I can choose any object anywhere on Earth.
that's
Um,
true. That's true. You can.
I would have, I
It also
when I
ups
wrote,
your cost really high.
yeah, the 3 or 4, right? I think
Yeah.
for momentum. But it like when I used it to look at the castle, I was able to look around and see what the weather was like outside and look at the tapestries on the wall and what was on the desks, and
Yeah. So
so
yeah, I can see the argument. Yeah.
so you can if I remote view. I mean, I'm not saying we're going to do this, but I could probably remote view and just see if maybe she's in a room that I can't tell where she's at, or she could be walking down the street and I can see to the corner of where she's at right now. That I don't I think, or we go back to the safe house and figure out what to do next. I'm kind of stumped. Sorry.
This in all the discussion, I got confused. We're this entropy, a state of chaos and decay, is on a piece of paper, right?
Correct.
And it was wrapped around something.
Yeah, a small metal key.
Oh, I forgot
A,
about the damn
a metal
key.
key.
Yes, we got a remote view what the key is.
Correct.
Yeah, I completely forgot
Good
about the
catch.
damn key. Oh my god, he got all wrapped around the axle about this damn entropy bullshit. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. All right. Well,
Because it
seeing
would
that,
be helpful if we could figure out what is the key to.
well, and that I can do. I can find out the history of this key. Do we want to do that here? I don't know because this kind of saps me and it may look weird to people around us.
Well, do you rock back and forth and chant? And
No, I don't think so. I think it's more of a
I
psychic
think it's
ability,
more of
but
a
I'm,
Johnny Carson, put the thing up to the piece of paper up to the head type
yeah,
situation.
right. Um,
aging yourself.
is where we're sitting really obvious? I mean, based on my knowledge of my skill, is this gonna like make people go, "What the hell is he doing around us?"
No, I don't think so, unless you have a really, really negative reaction to it.
Which, based on our roles lately,
It could happen.
might just run out of the cafe screaming with my brain melting. Uh, all right, that's we're gonna do it for the key then. So I guess for 3 momentum, I may choose an object within reach and gain limited knowledge of that object's past. Additional momentum spent to obtain information may be used to ask questions about the object's history. So you give me like I spend 3, and you tell me what you think is good to tell me about it, and then
Yeah.
with each additional, I get to ask
So
more
let's
questions.
talk about this for a second. You have 5 momentum. That's what's in the bank. Okay.
Right.
Um, let's look at your spell for a second because we've
Hmm.
not done a lot of spell casting. So,
No.
um, um, your spell has a difficulty of 2,
Hmm.
and it's going to be its observation, and your spellcasting ability is reason. Isn't there a die right on the spell? Yeah, there's a die right on the spell that you
Yep.
should be able
Yeah,
to
there
roll.
is. Uh-huh.
So, so you got to get 2 successes for it to even work, and whether it works or
Right.
not, you still pay the cost.
Right.
You have 5 momentum, and you know you want to save 3 to use that ability, which means you've got 2 momentum. Which, if you wanted to buy 1 extra die, you could burn 1 to do that. That would leave you with 1 when it's all said and done. Of course, if you said you had 1 fortune point left, so you could always do that too. You could always use a fortune point. In
Oh, you can
fact,
use fortune die.
well, no, what it is when you use a fortune point, it automatically turns one of your dice into a 1. So it's
Yeah.
an automatic critical success.
Hmm. But you
So,
still need a second one.
well, no, well, the critical success gets you 2 successes
Oh, it
automatically.
does.
Yeah.
So I
So,
Yep.
can automatically succeed at
so,
this with
so
the one
then
fortune.
the second by burning a fortune point, you would automatically succeed. The second die just is an opportunity to gain a momentum or potentially threat at that point.
Oh, okay.
But
Man, I
you
So
gotta.
so
Yeah,
so yeah. So the question is, you have one fortune point left, right?
that's correct.
So the question is, do you want to spend your last fortune point
Yes.
and guarantee a success, or do
Yes.
you spend 2 momentum to get the extra die
No.
and then use your 3? So that's the question.
First one, yes.
Okay.
First one, yes.
yes, yes,
All
and
right.
no.
So
Yeah.
let's do this thing.
Yeah. Oh, let's
I'm
decide on the
excited about this
question we're
plan.
gonna. So, I'm when I spend 3, I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get a snippet of history of this key. I'll
Correct.
have two momentum left. Each one can be individually can be used for one question, or
I believe that's correct.
additional momentum spent to obtain information may be used to ask questions about the
Yes, yeah,
objects.
using the
Yeah. So
standard.
it's probably like one question,
Yeah, it's 1 question per point. Yep.
and I don't have to commit those at the roll, do I?
No, no.
Okay.
It's if your roll's successful, then you can make the commitment.
Got it. Okay. I like this skill, well, until I don't. But let's see. Okay, so let's do this thing. So I'm going to burn a fortune point, which is going to give me but I'm still going to roll 2 dice. Is that correct?
No, you only roll 1
Okay.
because you only
Just
roll
roll.
1. The 1 die becomes an automatic 1.
Okay. And focus. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
You've occultism, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't.
Occultism and sight. So we're looking.
Oh, it's an observation skill, not. Yeah, so it still qualifies. Yes.
Yeah. And difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2. All right. Well,
Well, we got the one.
but you
Yeah.
have the 1, which automatically succeeds twice, so you're still successful. So,
Okay.
to make sure I
And no
understand,
complications. That's good.
no complications. So I don't get to melt your brain quite yet.
Right.
I was thinking
Right.
about it, but all right. So yeah, so you're remote viewing on the key, correct?
That's correct.
All right, and then you want to spend 3 momentum to get a limited history of the object's past.
Uh, well, I do. I gain limited knowledge just by doing the spell,
Yeah,
and then I can
there's really
with the
no
3.
hidden knowledge on the key itself.
Right. So for 3, when I spend the 3 momentum, that's what I just rolled for, right? Just so that I can gain limited knowledge of its past, and then
Right.
I get to ask questions for each additional momentum.
So the 3 momentum,
Yeah.
which drops you down to 2.
Hmm.
Um, the 3 momentum, you get an image in your mind of a man. He's in his late 30s. He's wearing an inexpensive but serviceable suit, and he's in a hallway. You get the impression it's maybe a hallway in where he's kind of in a tenement house or something along those lines. And he pulls a key out of his pocket, and it's this key, which he unlocks a door. He walks into the room, sits down at a table, and he writes out the entropy note that you actually have in your hand. Then he wraps the note around the key and he puts it in an envelope that he addresses to an address in Berlin,
Mm,
with Gisela
hmm.
Waldron's name on it. Um, so that's your limited knowledge of the object's past. You have two
Okay.
momentum if you want to ask a question to obtain information.
And, is this skill like Johnny Carson, where you can talk out loud while you're seeing things, or is this
Yeah,
all
sure.
internal?
The Swami thing where he puts it to his forehead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can you can
So
you can
if
That's
I
a
narrate
want
it
to,
blast
as
from
you
the
go.
past.
Sure.
so I'm quietly narrating this, and
is is
I'm
this in the bar, by the way?
this is in a quarter of the cafe. Yes, this is
Okay.
a quarter of the cafe because we're that subtle. Uh,
Yeah,
and
by default.
and so I describe the scene, hoping to elicit people shouting, "Ask him this, ask this, ask this."
I
um,
knew what you were going for there.
yeah. Uh, so if you guys have any ideas of what to ask next about this thing, what now? It's I guess we're just gonna have to try it, right? Because I was able to see the area around. If I burn, let's burn one momentum, and anything in that room, is there anything there that will give me an indication of, where he's at? Is there a return address on the envelope? Is there other correspondence or mail that's sitting on the desk that will have an address,
Okay.
or
The
is there
the
something out the window?
the answer to the question is no. But since you
Okay.
said you would look around the room looking for, I will tell you what you do see. It's like a two-room apartment. The room you're in is fairly nondescript. There's a sofa, a couple chairs. He's sitting at a very plain, basic round wooden table with a couple chairs. In addition to this letter that he wrote out and put the key into, there is a battered and beaten notebook, and next to it is a small statue or figurine that looks like um, a figure wearing sort of like Tibetan monk robes, perhaps, and it's made out of some sort of black stone.
Is it the size of, say, a soda bottle?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, it's 6, 7, 8 inches tall,
Okay.
give or take.
Um,
It not only is it's got a base. It's not just a figurine. Part of its height is a base that's about an
is
inch
it
thick.
base?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's made
almost
out
like
of
a
the same stone. It's all carved from this same piece of black stone.
yeah, creepy trophy. Um,
You have one momentum left to spend if you have another question you might wish to ask.
um, so can you create truths with momentum or no?
You can create a truth with momentum. Creating a truth costs 2 momentum.
Shit. I don't think I mean, while I was looking around, I think this could be part of the same questioning, but it's up to you. Does it look like this apartment's lived in, or is this a place that's more of,
No, I'm going to call that a second question. I'm going to call that a
all
second
right,
question. But I'm
all
going,
right,
but no, it's not really. No.
okay.
There's very little, like in terms of like personal effects or that type of thing.
Yeah,
There,
that's what I was
yeah,
going for.
yeah.
Just
There's
like,
really nothing.
okay.
In fact, there's dust in the corners of the room, stuff like that. So if the place is used, it's not used very heavily or very commonly. Um,
Anyone before I exit this psychic experience? We got one question left if we want to ask it. After I've described what I've seen about the figurine and the notebook.
I didn't hear anything about windows, right, in that room,
no.
from what you heard. Okay. Hmm. Can I don't know. You only get to see the one scene, right? You don't get to see like a sequential series of events about where this package with the key traveled to.
No,
Okay,
it's and it's fading on him.
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, nope. I think I'm just exiting
All right,
the remote viewing.
very good,
Okay.
very good. All right, so now you get the joy of rolling the cost.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
I
Now,
forget how to do that. Is that
well,
damage?
it's damage now. Now, remote viewing has a cost of. I've got
Two,
books
I
arrayed
believe.
all around me. Two, correct, but every momentum spent adds one die.
Right.
So
The three.
you spent the three momentum, so you get to
Oh,
roll.
that's right.
You get to roll 5d6.
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right. And where is there a button for that?
You know what? I'm not sure. Let me check this real quick. And you know
Excuse me.
what? It. Oh, no problem. It.
Oh, I wonder what
There.
oh, there's,
There's. I
no,
see
no.
where it shows the cost right there on the spell of two, but I don't
Yeah,
see.
the
So
any
just use the
button.
die roller. Roll 5d6. Or wait,
Okay.
wait. No. Yeah, use the damage dice button at the top right over the
Oh,
corner
there it
of the
is.
character
Right.
sheet, and then just put in
So
five.
five.
This is gonna
Oh.
hurt. You took four damage with two effects, and the effects on this
Oh,
is what?
boy.
Piercing and drain?
Yeah,
So, do you have courage? How much courage do you have?
I have one courage.
Alright, so the two piercing blows right through that. So, you take four stress damage,
Okay.
which
Wow.
fortunately is not enough to cause an injury. However,
Okay.
unfortunately, you did get drained twice. So, any mental roll you make has a higher complication range until you get some rest. You have
So
to,
I can note that as drain plus two on, or times two on
yeah,
injuries.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, just to remember it. But I have to do a long rest to get rid of that, right?
Correct, correct. Oh
Okay.
no, you still have the psychic burnout though. Don't lose that.
Oh, I still have the psychic burnout.
Yeah. Oh no, wait. No, you don't. I'm sorry. I take that back. You didn't take an actual injury. You're right. We were just keeping track of that. It's
Right,
basically
right.
the same effect as what you had last time.
I see.
It
Okay.
just exhausted the hell out of you.
All right. So I'm just cradling my head, got the migraine thing going on. And I'm like, I think I'm done for today, gentlemen.
You open your eyes, and Slim is offering you a flask, and he's got his hand on your shoulder.
I take a deep draw of whatever's in there, which I'm sure burns like hell because it's not Polish vodka.
Well, good work, Pilecki. This is a twisted pretzel of a mystery. I don't know what any of this means, but let's get you some rest, and we'll figure this out. And I guess that leaves us with breaking into the book club, or going to the print shop.
We still have the afternoon.
Yeah, but do you need? I mean, do you need to take 5 to? I mean, are
Yeah,
you
he needs what's the equivalent of a full night of sleep.
Yeah,
got
I'm spent from this, but that doesn't mean you guys can't go have fun.
from a metagame perspective? Are you cool with that? Are you? How you
Oh,
feel?
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's get Pilecki back to the safe house, and then discuss our next move. Uh, all right. So we've got the full day. We've got the full day ahead of us. Correct.
Correct. Yeah, I mean it's early.
Okay.
All of this happened probably what 8 9 a.m. Right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, actually, I wonder if Pilecki could get 8 hours of sleep during the day, and we could go at night to hit up this.
Probably very well if you left me with that flask.
All right.
Guys, I have to apologize. I had to step away. Can you give me the quick synopsis of what he found?
So he had a vision of a man in a nondescript suit walking down a hallway, opening a door with a key, going into a small room, writing out the entropy note, putting it in an envelope, addressing it to Waltrin in Berlin. The room did not look lived in, and next to him was a tattered notebook with a 6-inch stone figurine of a something in robes, a man in robes, like a monk.
Tibetan, I think is what was used to
Okay.
describe it.
That is
Almost
what
like
was used to
Tibetan robes.
describe it. We'll just assume your character knows what that looks like.
So we're yeah, yeah. All right. So we're talking like Buddhist Tibetan robes,
Yeah.
right? All right. Would I know? I mean, just after the fact, just because of my knowledge, whether it's a monk of standing or a lay monk or
Probably not. I don't think
okay,
it's that detailed.
And
okay.
the hallway, did it look like a standard building with plaster walls and a wooden floor?
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah,
stone?
it was like
Okay.
a tenement
Oh,
building, and yeah, I entered. We didn't see any. It was 2 bedroom, lightly furnished. Not really any personal effects except the
okay. Like an
notebook and a statue. Yeah, almost like a
like a
flop
flat.
house. Yeah, a flat. Second apartment for some dude that has something on the side. Sounds like maybe he lived there and he was just aesthetic. But okay, yeah,
Okay.
that's what we saw.
All right. So Gisela is a dead end at this point. We got to wait for her to contact us, right?
Seems that
The
way. Yeah.
handler, the message is out. Got to wait for word back from that. We're
What did
not.
the boy say to meet her?
Hmm?
Did the
I don't.
boy have any? Did he make any
No,
comment about where we were supposed to meet her?
no. He said she'd reach out to you
She'd
guys.
reach out. Okay.
All right. And so that's a dead end. Handler's in limbo. We're not touching the big wizard guy, which means our two leads here are Fuchs and the book club.
Or the Schloss in Detmold. But that would cause us to leave Vienna and go across the border to Germany
Right.
fairly conspicuously.
Half the German army's on our tails, and you want us to go to Berlin into the lion's den?
Nice.
Hmm.
Well, we got
We're
full
not
tank
quite
of
there
gas.
yet, but
So the
Got a
book
full tank
club's
of
got to
gas.
be a night thing, right?
Well, I mean, we could just go during the day and research the equation or the figurine or something like that. We don't have to break in for that, if that's what you're saying.
Oh yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah, we could use that library. Is there any way that one of us could sneak upstairs? You think?
Again,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Sing's got his contact. They're
yeah,
friendly,
he knows
and I
Siler.
can
Yeah.
and I can sketch out what the thing looks like.
Oh,
I mean,
He could
I
just
could even
ask.
recruit him to help me, maybe.
yeah.
Hmm.
That's a really good idea.
Like if
And as far as the key goes, I know it's a stretch, but I mean, we could always look for locksmiths. Maybe it's a key that's not used that often anymore and only in a few buildings, or I don't know. I mean, there's always
Now,
maybe there's an angle there.
here's a question. We go back to the book club by day, recruit, talk to Seidler, whatever. We're using the library, and then Fuchs walks in. What happens then? Do we
You get to
scrap the
kill
library?
him. You get to kill him. Easy.
All right. If you're prepared for
Well,
Slim's
Pilecki's not in the
loose
right frame
cannon,
of mind right now. Pilecki's feeling a little ornery and with a headache, so
I just mean
trying
from
to
a
sketch
metagame
out his
perspective here.
right.
Oh boy.
Something we haven't checked into, guys, is often when you join a club, they have to be able to reach you. And so normally they have a record somewhere of the club members' address, home address, phone numbers, stuff like that. We haven't we haven't we haven't tried to get that information about Fuchs.
Mr. Baker, you are a sneaky snake, my friend. I enjoy that idea.
So that's something else we could go after because that might give us some.
Well, and that's why I was asking about the if it looked like he lived there or not, because I was thinking, we could find Ehrlichman's address from Singh's contact and just go to the apartment and open it with the key, but it may not work there, but that's still something we should try.
You bet. We should do that too.
It might be a second location that he's hiding from everybody, but it's worth a try.
All right.
And just a side note here, when the wizard guy, bookshelf or bookstore guy, said he had the key, he did not literally mean a key. This was a
Metaphoric.
metaphor. Okay. Just making sure I remember correctly. All right, yeah, let's do the book club. Research what we can research, snoop around for records, and possibly get upstairs if we need to.
All right.
Plus, I would imagine that Seidler wouldn't have trouble giving us um, Ehrlichman's address, given that he's dead. What harm could it be?
Yeah, good
Right.
point.
Boy, it just tells me we didn't do a very thorough job of exhausting that opportunity when we were there.
Well, what can you do?
Yeah,
We're learning. We're learning.
man. Okay, let's do it. Got to do something.
Yep.
All right. All right. So,
By the way,
yeah.
based on my reckoning, I know we took a break and everything, but it took us about an hour and 40 minutes to get a key and figure out we still had to go back to the library.
Yeah, you guys talk it out a bit. All right. So you guys leave Pilecki to sleep off his psychic hangover, and head out to and head back to the Sphinx Reading Club. Correct? That's the plan.
Correct.
All right. So to cut through just to fast forward a little bit, you guys get in, and of course, Seidler's your contact there, and because you're not members, you're allowed inside, and someone goes and fetches Seidler, and he he's probably approaching with a bit of, I don't know, a bit of consternation, maybe. I'm not sure if that's quite the right adjective, but as he approaches, and he says, "Mr. Singh, it's good to see you, but I didn't think I'd be seeing you this many times in this many days, being where you're from and where we are."
Yes, I regret any impropriety, but this time duty calls again. And you might be our last hope in
Well,
our investigation.
I would certainly like to be helpful if I can. What can I help you with, my friend?
We're at a dead end, and we have a couple of leads that we don't fully understand, and I'll show him this entropy equation, and
Oh,
then I'll show
good.
him Walter Pilecki's drawing of the statuette that he found in his vision.
He looks.
Do either of these mean anything to you, sir?
He says, "Why, of course. Mr. Singh, you are a most educated man, but I can understand why this particular equation wouldn't fall within your realm of knowledge. But that's absolutely the entropy equation put forth by Ludwig Boltzmann.
Can you give me more details? What does the equation mean, and who is this
He,
Volksman you speak of?
oh, he was a physicist, very famous. He is his tomb is in the Zentralfriedhof. It's a very famous. One of you's familiar with Vienna. Who is it? Is it Baker?
I
I
think
believe it
so.
was
Yeah.
Baker, yeah.
Yeah, Baker. You know where that is. It's in the southern part of the city. It's a huge and famous cemetery where many famous people are buried, including Strauss and Beethoven, just to name two. Um,
Volksman's been dead for some time, I gather.
yeah, he died in the 19th century.
Dungeon crawl, anyone?
What about this figurine? Have you seen anything like it in your experience? It's outside of
He
my.
takes the piece of paper and he looks at it and he says, "Have you found this?
No.
This is what." He lowers his voice and he looks around, makes sure that no one's really paying attention. He says, "This is what was stolen from upstairs. The reason we have everything blocked off, we had a break in the middle of the night, and somebody stole this figurine. We don't know why. We don't know what value it has. It's something from the Far East. Uh,
What about its provenance? Who gave you the figure?
he says, I'll have to research that. I'm not certain. But it
Yeah,
was
I
it
guess
was
that means it has no business in the module, so we'll just forget about that.
he says it was part of a private collection donated years ago.
We don't know where it's from or its significance.
Again,
Occult
we
terms.
we believe it's from the Far East, but in terms of anything else, it's an oddity in that geologically we're not sure what it's made from, but we never wanted to damage it to have chemists or geologists study it. We believe it to be very old.
Why do you suspect someone would want to steal this?
I have no idea. But if you find it, I would be most obliged if it were returned.
I will give him the description that I have from Walter of the man that he saw.
He goes, "Oh, that's Professor Ehrlichman. You don't think Professor Ehrlichman stole this?"
I'll just be straight with him. I don't know at this time. It's possible.
Why would Professor Ehrlichman? Um,
Why, indeed.
why would he take this? This is all very strange.
I think I must go to the museum.
Baker, maybe this is where you ask about Ehrlichman's address.
Yes, Mr. Sadler, I, it, do I presume correctly that as a club you would have addresses and contact information for your members?
Of course.
Uh, it might be helpful to us to see Dr. Ehrlichman's address. Maybe there's some information at his flat.
He says if it'll lead us to our missing object, I'm very concerned as to why Dr. Ehrlichman would take this item. But yeah, I'll go get it for you.
Um, Baker, Baker tries to keep it low and whisper to Khan, maybe you should accompany Herr Seidler so that you can observe where they keep the records.
Is it permitted?
Well,
No, I'm talking to
well,
Marty.
I'm
Like, can I? I'm not going to burn a contact, but can I go with him, or is it going to be weird?
Is
I
it
mean-
permitted? What a paladin.
Yeah, I mean, this is a personal contact of Khan's, so he's.
well, yeah. If we're going outside the game, or if we're just talking about game mechanics, then let's talk about that. Um, you can always approach Seidler with some, friendly thing to discuss and accompany him. See if you can walk with him or whatever, and discuss something. You can always try, and if your role works, then you're in. If not, well, then we stay. That's all.
Yeah, I'll make like I don't know.
And maybe at this point, with the lead on the
Oh, I
museum,
know what I'll say.
maybe it's not a big deal.
I know what I'll say. All right, so
Okay.
as he begins to go into the back room,
Mm.
I'll accompany him and then, surreptitiously try to notice where he's going. And when if and when he notices me, I will. Well, I'll just play it out. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll attempt to follow him to at least see where he's going, if I can't go all the way.
Yeah, all right. So let's do this. Let me pull that. And where's my. Oh, my mouse went inactive. I was like, wait a minute. Where's my mouse at? There it is. All right. If Are you actively trying not to be noticed by him?
Not per se, no.
Okay. All right. So yeah, he does notice that you're following him. Um, uh, he says, "Just a moment. I've got it right back here. What would you like to say or do, sir?"
Oh, sorry, I was talking and muted. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Do I see where he's going?
Yeah,
Like, is it a
absolutely.
room, a
He's going
door,
in.
a file
It's,
cabinet?
it's a small office off to the
Okay.
side.
So I know where it's at.
Yep.
Is it locked? Does he have to like produce a key to get in there?
No, I think he just goes right in. Probably
Okay.
doesn't have much need to secure it, during just normal daylight hours, I imagine.
So I'll just real quick say there's something else I wanted to say, but I did not want the others to hear me.
He lowers his voice kind of conspiratorially. Okay, how can
I do not believe you are in any danger, but this investigation seems to me to be proceeding into some sinister pathways. Therefore, I wish to caution you. If any man comes asking about me or my friends, you're to deny our close friendship. Tell them I'm a pest. Tell them I've been bothering you. I want you as far distanced from me as possible.
He says, who could come looking?
It's a mystery. I don't have an answer to that yet. But some very dangerous people are going to great lengths to hide themselves and to operate in the dark, and that can only mean trouble for those seeking to bring them into the light. I hope you follow my meaning.
He nods. He goes, I do indeed.
Remember, I'm a bit of a pest. I've asked you some general questions, and you hope to have seen the last of me.
I understand. I certainly hope you can resolve this all safely for you and your associates. He opens up a file and he pulls Ehrlichman's address and gives it to you.
Is there more information in that file about Ehrlichman?
Not really. He's got an address in Berlin. He has he has a secondary address here in Vienna. He was recommended to the Sphinx Reading Club by somebody in Berlin. name you don't recognize. Um, and it's a list of his accomplishments and qualifications, that type of thing. Kind of an application, if you will.
I see. All right, I'll take the information. Thank you, my friend. Remember what I said. Be careful.
He says, "You as well," and he puts the file away.
All right, I will wait for him to be done and then follow him back up.
All right, very good.
I will hand the information to Mr. Baker.
All right.
I think Slim is like sitting in the whatever like the main like sitting room is with like a newspaper, and he is like trying to keep an eye out for Fuchs.
All right. Yeah, no sign of him so far.
I
All right,
believe
Tim.
you should be going, gentlemen.
So Slim puts down the newspaper. He like folds it down and looks around and nods, and then gets up and follows you.
So, museum or Ehrlichman's flat?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of information here.
Yeah.
Well, will they permit us upstairs?
No, but I mean, we know, unless maybe if you guys want to look for, well, I mean, weren't we up there already looking for clues?
Pilecki was up there, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think
I-
we're going to get anything else up there. What did you want to look for?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there was the thought of breaking in to see what else could be found. Now we know what's missing.
Right, I mean, now we know the story. This statuette is the thing that was stolen that they didn't want to let on.
I mean, unless there's some kind of forensic evidence, but it seems like Pilecki did,
Like you would have found it.
search. Yeah, right.
Besides, I mean, we know we have reason to suspect that it's Ehrlichman himself who stole it.
That's fair.
I
I think
judging by
you're right.
So we know where his hideout is, or his like whatever that is, his no-tell motel that he stays at.
Let's
And
do it.
we know that he sent his fiancee the key, and apparently the key pertains to this museum because that's where the guy who wrote this formula is buried. So I think that's a clue.
Oh,
So it must
I'm sorry.
unlock something.
Real quick, it's not a museum. It's a famous cemetery.
Oh,
Famous
excuse me.
cemetery.
Oh, that's what you meant by museum. Okay, I thought you meant the.
I don't know why I got museum mixed up with cemetery, but
That's
my
okay.
bad.
No.
So possibly there's something there that can be unlocked with this key, and he was trying to get Lizette to go, make sure that she at least had this information. But I'm thinking he did this to
Ew.
try to cover his tracks, and there's something there that this key will unlock.
Let's beat feet to the cemetery. Yeah.
We should probably get Walter in case he has to fry his brain again. By the time we're done with this adventure, Walter will be in a wheelchair drooling, completely incognizant of anything.
It's going to be not service related.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay,
No
Walter,
VA benefits
here,
for
have
you.
some
You can't
oatmeal.
talk about
Have your oatmeal. Put the bib on him again.
it.
Yeah. Let's. All right. Yeah. Why don't we go back, get lunch, get Walter after he's got some rest, and go back by night or by evening to the cemetery? That's sufficiently
Scary.
Lovecraftian.
I mean, we're playing a game called Achtung, Cthulhu, and we're going to go to a cemetery at midnight.
Hell
What's wrong
yeah.
with us?
We need Buffy
Love it.
Summers.
Love it. We could stuff Henry Baker into a crop top.
Oh, God.
He's a vampire slayer.
All right, so Boltzmann is buried in the cemetery.
Yeah, he is. And because you know Vienna, because you guys created that truth way back at the beginning, which was such a
Yeah.
wonderful thing to do. He is buried in an area known as the Ahrengruber, which is and if anyone German watches this and realizes we're mispronouncing everything, we're sorry.
Yeah.
But it is a well-known tourist attraction because a lot of famous people have full-blown tombs there. So it's, I mean, people come from all over Europe to see the tombs of people like Beethoven and Boltzmann and whatnot. So, yeah.
Okay, so, um, but Walter's vision was of someone walking down a hallway and using the key to open a door.
Right, who you know is Ehrlichman.
Correct. Um, so I'd be surprised if the key opens, say, Boltzmann's tomb, uh,
Well,
or
the key
something.
specifically opened the door that he went into, so,
Right, but
yeah.
what I'm trying to say is, yes, it specifically opened the door that he opened, which appeared to be in like an apartment or flat or something. So,
Gotcha.
so we're not going to. Luckily, it doesn't look like we're going to do any creepy tomb robbing or something. But
Well, we never know. I mean, we got
the
to find
question
out
is if
why
there's
he's.
some. Well, the question is there some clue at the cemetery? So,
There must be, because why would he send this particular equation? You know what I mean? Like that's. I mean, regardless, we don't have hardly anything else to go on unless we want to just go to Germany.
could be, and the Boltzmann equation with the Boltzmann constant is now what? This is 1939, so it's 60, 70 years old, something like that. Um, so okay, so I guess the question is, based on Henry's knowledge of Vienna, um, which one's closer, the cemetery or the flat?
Um, oh, that's a good question. The flat is definitely closer. The cemetery's in the far southern part of the city.
Okay, you want to take the big circle route, check out the flat, and then check out the cemetery, or are we still bent on getting Walter first?
Well, why don't we check out the flat, see where that goes, and then if there's time, we could pick up Walter for the cemetery.
Okay,
Yeah, I have to. I mean, I'm assuming I'm sleeping, so I need a solid 8 before I think my stuff goes away.
You're
So
correct,
and
which would
hardly
put
any.
you pretty close to sundown anyway.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, good thing you're in a safe house. Um, all right, so I'd say let's go check out the flat.
All right.
Nice.
Okay.
You have the address, so you make your way there. It's in the western part of the city, past the. It's outside of the Ringstrasse, so it takes you a little bit of time to get there. Um, and it's in a it's in a relatively middle class looking residential area. But yeah, it's definitely a house that's been turned into tenements or small apartments. The and Pardon me one second. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Just had to make sure that wasn't anything I need to deal with. As you go in, yeah, you find the room number that you're looking for, the apartment number, flat number, what have you that you're looking for, no problem. The door is actually open.
Duh.
You go to touch
Oh
it, and
boy.
it just kind of creaks its way open. Um,
Khan will draw his service revolver
okay.
before entering and keep it down low.
I will
Okay.
put my hand in my jacket.
Is there any light? Is there any light in the room?
No, it's dark inside.
Um, are there any light switches?
There is just inside.
All right, I'll flick on the light.
All right, inside is a relatively small single room, probably 10 foot by 14, and it's the scene that Walter described from his vision. It's a small round wooden table, a couple of chairs. There is a couch on the far side of the room. There's a door off to one side that you're assuming leads to a second room. Um, and there is literally nothing else here.
Hmm.
Weird little
Okay,
room.
are there windows?
The hell
No.
is he doing here? What's his deal? Why does he have this?
Maybe it's just a cozy, private little place to work. He didn't want to
Well,
store his records in the desk at the library.
yeah, he was being shifty about his records. Maybe this is a front for some kind of operation, trying to get a hold of this artifact.
It seems really organized for a researcher. Like, this is spy shit, right?
I'm in agreement with that.
All right. Well,
Like, as a spy, do I recognize tradecraft here? Or, like, am I just being paranoid? I might just be paranoid. I'm
Make
sorry.
an insight observation, and I'll let you use your instincts focus.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
cool.
baby.
Come on.
Mama needs a new pair
We're
of
going to
shoes.
call it difficulty 2.
Ooh, juicy.
Should I use... We don't have any momentum stuff
You
in
are
the bank.
out.
Not anymore. We're out
We're
of
fresh out. We're
No, I
fresh
think we
out.
have we've got one, but that's not enough, right? We need to have two for
Oh
an
no,
extra
you
dice.
do have 1 momentum. You can buy 1 die for 1 momentum.
Yeah, do it. Why
I
not?
would like
Definitely.
to do that.
All right, so that gives
So-
you 3 dice.
Okay, so I have to hold on. I was on the last prompt. Sorry.
Yeah.
Or Baker and I can do something dangerous to generate momentum.
Good.
I'll steal a car while this is happening.
Not allowed to do it to each other.
Difficulty 2.
Correct.
Okay, here we go. Damn it!
Ooh.
Damn it!
Ooh.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
We needed this one.
Bum 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 bum. No. No,
Wait, do you have fortune? Can you use that at all, or is that
not after the roll.
gotcha?
Yeah.
Thought about it. And I didn't do it.
All right. Well, since we don't appear to see anything else in this room, let's go see if the key does in fact fit the door.
And
Oh.
Mr. Baker, what about the neighbors? You think they might know anything?
Possible, but unlikely. Let's check this out first. Since we're just standing right here, let's just do it. Who's got the key, by the way? Is that Khan?
Pilecki's got it back in the thing.
No, whoever opened the door, I think it was you, wasn't it?
Well, no, the door
was
just
open.
opened.
The door
up.
was
Oh,
open.
the door
I
is
just
just
pushed it open. The
I
rest of the
assumed
way
you
open.
had the key. You were going to try it, and the door opened by itself.
I,
All right. Well,
I think it's safe to assume that Pilecki gave one of you guys the key, knowing that
Yeah,
you guys
well,
were going to.
all right.
do
So
that.
what the heck? I'm gonna let me check the door. Is the door locked?
No, it's unlocked.
So we don't even need the key anymore. All right. Let me open the door and look in the room.
It's a small bedroom. It's 7 foot. It matches the overall width of this room at 12, but it's only 7 feet deep, and it's got. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, I tickle my throat. It's got a very small mission style bed for one, and a dresser and a basin, and that's about it.
I'm assuming it's dark too. I had to flip on the light switch.
Yeah.
Any windows?
No.
No. All right. Now Walter's vision, he saw. He didn't see this room.
No. No.
No.
He saw the door leading to it, but he didn't see
Right.
this room, right? Because he was in the other room.
Right. So he saw him walk down the hallway we came down
Right.
and stick the key in the door and unlock. We bypassed all that because it was all unlocked.
Right.
All right. So I guess we ought to search the room. Slim, look under the mattress.
Roger that.
So nothing's obviously here, but we'll just check around.
All right, so that would be inside observation. Um, since you brought Slim into it, you can both make the roll. Slim, roll one die with difficulty zero. Henry, you got your normal two dice with difficulty one. Inside
Okay.
observation with sight as a focus if you have it. Oh, I'm not even on the
Oh
dice
boy.
roll section.
Oh boy.
And difficulty one.
Yeah.
It's a real crack squad here. Oh my gosh.
Have we actually won a roll this session or not? I think the only time we had a success is when I used a fortune point.
Wow. How,
Oh well.
how many dudes does it take to search an empty room?
Dude.
Jesus Christ.
You
And
guys
one of
have
them's a cop that searched like 1,000 rooms.
you guys have literally failed. You guys have literally failed. One, two, three. Not counting that because you auto successed it with fortune. Four, five. You guys have literally failed 5 out of 8 rolls this session. This is amazing.
Yeah, I think I made the
And that,
first 2 rolls of the session, right? We
and
got
that,
some early momentum out of that,
yeah,
Yeah.
me and Walter, and then I failed every single roll.
yeah.
that
And
I
we've
made.
been adding dice and shit too. These aren't just straight rolls. It's like, what the hell?
Oh yeah, it's one of them days.
All right.
Don't get into combat.
Yeah.
So
Well, the eclipse is coming, right? So something.
thanks to our poor rolls, this is a dry hole, to use a Texas.
We can
Opportunity.
take Slim at his suggestion and look to see if anybody's seen anything. Though I don't think that's necessarily going to yield anything because he's probably being surreptitious. But you know what? That might tell us something too. If the neighbors have like no idea that this guy's here, that kind of tells us something too.
Or what if they've seen a lot of traffic in and out of this room?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go and find out.
All right. So we will. You guys start knocking on doors, the nearby doors, talk to nearby neighbors, that type of thing.
Yeah, just to get a sense of traffic. Yeah.
All right. Um, so I'm going to move it forward a little bit rather than slow the whole thing down with a lot of role playing. Let's have someone do a willpower persuasion roll. Probably whoever's best at that. I'm not sure who that is.
That's not going
It's
to be me.
um, I'm only 10.
Does deceive count as a focus?
I guess it
And I have
depends on how you're approaching it.
Well, I'm at 12 or 13, depending on whether or not I get
All
to
right.
use.
Well,
Seven.
you're obviously
I'm afraid.
you're the one to obviously approach people. I would suggest the proper approach is to tell them that we're colleagues of the gentleman in the room, and that uh,
Except Khan
we're
doesn't speak
we're
German.
we're good.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh, that's right. I speak German, don't I?
Well,
No, he doesn't.
all three of you do except Khan. Well,
Except Khan.
Slim in his own special way.
Well, here's what we can do. Perhaps you will do the talking, and I will assist you, and so you can pretend to translate for me,
Oh,
which isn't actually pretending. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Might even
Okay.
help. Might even help our situation if you tell them I'm a
All right,
wealthy
GM.
foreigner.
You're gonna have to decide how that's gonna work. But
Okay.
yeah, I see that.
No, that's fine. If going with the all right, so yeah, Khan, go
So
ahead and make.
the cover story is that we're colleagues, maybe a little more than colleagues, and
Yes, I'm from the University of Delhi,
okay,
and
and
here to visit a friend.
but
Traveled far, and he
and he
doesn't.
doesn't seem to be home. So we're asking how well, if they know where he might be, how well they know him, and hopefully they'll volunteer if something they noticed anything or if anything's strange.
All right, that's fine. Give me a will persuasion roll, and you can use deceive.
Okay. And
We'll let Khan make the roll because I think he's got the best roll
he
between the two of
does.
you. But you can roll one die as a help.
So two dice, Marty.
Two dice for you, difficulty one. Baker, one die, zero difficulty.
Okay.
Does deceive apply?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
And difficulty one.
correct.
Wow.
Hey.
Why should it go so well? It's a setup.
Not that momentum is going to help you any. Um, okay, so Henry, it says success, but that's because your difficulty was zero. You didn't actually roll any successes, but that's
Okay.
okay. You still had two successes, which brought you guys one momentum. Um, so talking to a few of the people in the hallway, a few of the people who are home at least, um, you find a couple different things. I probably only one person even knows Professor Ehrlichman's name. The general answer you get from everybody is that he kept odd hours. He kept odd hours. He never had anybody with him. He was always here. When he was here, he was here alone. He seemed to only come here. Um, he oftentimes would come in late at night, and he would be gone early in the morning. And then there were times where he was gone for days or even a week or more at a time. Um, but he never had anybody come with him here. He never had any visitors or anything along those lines. And he was usually carrying a book or two with him, which doesn't surprise. Probably the people who know he is a professor, they wouldn't find that odd. It seems to be within realm of reason for a professor.
Was his fiance ever with him?
No.
What about a man matching the description of Fuchs?
Ooh. No.
What about a man matching the description of Persia or whatever his name is, the bookstore owner?
Ernst Pretsche?
Precious.
No. No, no one's ever seen him with anybody here.
Okay. Anything else, guys?
No, that was good. I think that's informative in a roundabout way.
Yeah. After those immense failures, we're lucky that they aren't all Sergeant Schultz. Okay. All right. So I'd say
I get
let's.
that reference.
Yeah. So maybe it's time to head to the cemetery and check out Boltzmann's tomb.
All right. Are you guys just heading there straight during the day, or were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
We weren't
Well,
getting Walter for that one.
Walter's got to get his sleep to recover, so time's a wasting. Daylight's a burning.
So we don't want to
Okay.
get him first.
Well, how much time would we waste, I guess, is my question.
Well, he needs 8 hours of sleep, and we're still in the morning.
I think you're counting time to get over there and snoop around.
Yeah.
I think you're probably pushing close to noon at this point. Now,
Yeah.
but
So he has. Even so, he hasn't had his 8 hours.
no, you definitely, with your knowledge of Vienna, especially if you guys pick up a cab or something, you have more than enough time to get down to the cemetery and check it out and still get back, probably.
Okay.
Yes, Slim. So why don't we hail a cab, and you don't need to steal a car.
His shoulders visibly drop just like an inch, and then, all right, Mr. Baker, I'll take care of that. And leads us out.
Okay, so so the cemetery is a pretty famous place. Do we see a lot of tourist activity?
Um, not in the main cemetery itself. All the tourist activity is focused on the Ehrengruber,
Yeah.
Ehrengruber, which is where all the famous tombs are. But yeah, there are definitely people. There are people here, um,
Okay.
looking around. Um, the finding the tombs of famous people are obviously clearly marked. They people want to know who they are, or Vienna wants people to know who they are. So it's not difficult to find
Okay.
the tomb. There's a huge stone bust of him on a pedestal, and the it's about the height of a man, and right under the bust, engraven in the pedestal is his name. On the stone tomb behind him, behind the bust itself and above his head um, is the formula, engraved right on. And in fact, there's if you guys wanted to Google Boltzmann's tomb, you can actually see an exact picture of what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm looking
Um,
at it right now.
so there's two trees growing on either side of the bust. Um, but yeah, there's people milling all about. It's what is it at this point? By this time, it's probably noon or shortly thereafter. Yeah.
That's a cool little tomb. All right.
Now, historically speaking, I believe his entropy formula, of course, ended up being proven wrong, but that's not the point. For a 19th century physicist, he did all right. I guess is what we're getting at.
Now I'm trying to look at the pictures here. So there's the facade with the statue. I mean, how big is the tomb behind him? Is that like a standard
Yeah,
tomb size or
no, it's not like some grand mausoleum or anything along those lines. It's probably about 8 feet wide, 10 foot long,
gotcha.
and 7 or 8 feet tall. Maybe 10, maybe more like 10 feet tall. Um, um, yeah.
All right, I guess we should search around, huh? See if there's anything in the trees or keyholes or anything.
So it's not B log, it's K log.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's K. It's the
I mean,
Boltzmann
I'm not
constant.
acting like that would have made any difference for me.
It doesn't really make a difference. It's a constant. It's a constant times
Right.
the log of the concentration ratio.
All right. So you guys want to. So you guys are wanting to basically search the area without making it plainly obvious you're searching the area. Is that the idea?
Yeah, I think we give it the once over, unless there's something buried here, at which point that gets a little more complicated.
Well, so I guess that calls for inside observation,
Okay.
um, with a sight focus. Whoever's making the roll is going to be difficulty two, and then there's two others of you there, so the other two can get one die. So
So I've got 12 total on that, guys.
Which say it again. It's
inside observation.
inside observation. I've got 11.
I've got a really high one. Insight's
Yeah.
11. I was at 14 plus a focus of instincts, so 15.
Yeah. So I guess we know what's going on there.
So the ones helping, or you said one die?
Yeah, the guys who are helping should go one die,
Okay.
and make your difficulty zero. Sing, you of course get two dice, and your difficulty is two. You
I will
guys,
use. We still have momentum.
you have one momentum.
I will use it.
All right, so you're going to use it for a third die.
Yep.
All right, very good. Oh, look at Slim. All right.
Nice.
No actual successes rolled for Henry. Wow, Singh had 4 successes and Slim had 2. So you guys had a total of 6 successes on a difficulty
Holy
2,
shit.
which gave
There you
you
go,
4
Inspector. Good
momentum.
job.
That's right. There is really The tomb itself, there's nothing out of the ordinary. It does have an entrance, though you're not quite sure how to get into it per se. However, as you guys are looking around, and it was very hard to notice. Uh, but to the tree that's just left of the bust, the ground behind the tree has been recently dug up and put back in place.
Ah.
All right, Kyle. Now Slim's chance to shine. Is there a shovel anywhere?
Yeah, Slim looks around for a shovel.
23-year-old, perfect back,
Well,
working condition.
if the ground
Yeah.
if the ground is loose, he probably doesn't need a shovel. But how do
Go
we
get him.
how do we how do we how do we dig up the ground when there's people all around?
We come back at midnight,
Ugh.
and Walter can fry his brain. I'm looking forward to seeing this.
You, you could just bring some dirt back, and I can
Yeah,
promote
well,
you
and,
with the
and
dirt.
then yeah, okay. So,
I'll fry my brain again and then sleep some more.
Here's
Well,
a cup of
unless
dirt. Now finish the job.
somebody creates a sizable distraction.
Any Fraulines around? Any big band music?
well, what we basically suspect that someone's buried a strange statue there, maybe. So, a figurine. Is that possible? All right. So, what kind of distraction do we think we could create that would get everyone's attention? What's Tell me again what particular attribute would that be?
That would be.
Well, Slim actually has a talent.
Well, I know you do, but all right. So, well, I guess Slim could try and distract him while one of us dug it up because it doesn't take any special skill to dig in the dirt with your hands.
No.
I have 9 bronze, so that would might be help dig the hole. But okay, so um, I guess it's time for Slim to shine again. Try and distract, or we could come back when it's dark. How how many people do we see milling about?
Yeah.
Dozens. There's people everywhere. It's a tourist attraction.
Ooh.
Right.
Yeah, let's just come back, guys.
Okay.
Digging in a,
All right. Well, I'm about to turn
Memorial
into a
Park.
pumpkin anyway, so maybe we come back next session.
Sounds good.
Yeah, yeah. It's 12:37 my time. So that would work. So real quick, you guys run back to the safe house, I guess, to wait out wait out Walter sleeping and to come back in the evening. That would be
Yep.
the plan. All right, very
Yep.
good. Um, so that's where we'll leave it. Obviously, like I said before, the 14th is out. It will be Thursday the 21st.
Gotcha.
Same ugly time, same ugly channel. Oh, by the way, I had said that I was going to be doing another con in October called Nightmare Weekend. It's a horror themed convention, which I would be bringing a new book to that, as well as some of my previously published stuff. But I found out from my wife. Well, first off, I found out a couple days ago. Maybe it was yesterday or the day before, I don't remember. I got the email from the event company saying that I was accepted for the table, which I wasn't really worried about. More importantly, a couple days ago, my wife informed me that one of the celebrities that's going to be there is John Carpenter.
Oh, cool.
Holy crap!
Um, so that became a, even if I wasn't going to be there at a table selling books, I was going to have to go to that, because that's John Carpenter.
Wow, yeah, no kidding.
I
I
mean,
know if we go, we'll get to observe a rare and special event. We'll get to see Marty speechless.
yeah, thanks.
All right, guys. So, speaking of cons, heads up on that 21st.
Oh,
I'm going to be at a convention, but um, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to play at the convention center. I think I can sneak it in before my classes or whatever. So, I would just have to shimmy off by noon.
okay,
That day.
Okay.
that's fine. Noon your time.
My time, yeah.
Yeah, which is coming up on now anyway. So
That's
yeah,
right. Yeah.
that would work out perfectly.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool.
All right, gents, thanks for playing. I always have a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah, guys,
For
I
sure.
will
Thank
see
you,
you in
everybody.
2 weeks.
Sounds
Good.
good.
All
Bye,
right.
guys.
See you,
Later.
Bye, guys.
fellas.